Thank you. Good morning. Good afternoon. The amount of money that we have been able to give since January 2023 up to now for basic level is 67 billion. And this is categorized as follows. For the 9 million runners in our public primary schools, we have been able to give 7.9 billion up to now. And for our junior school, that is for grade 7, we have been able to give 14.7 billion from January up to now for the 1 million runners at that particular level. And for our secondary schools, that is from 1 to 4, where we have about 3.7 million of our students, we have so far been able to give 44.4 billion Kenya shillings. And as you are aware, it is only the other day that we disbursed a total of 16 billion to our secondary schools and also to junior school. So we say with confidence that at that particular level, the government has been able to give adequate funds to our primary schools, to our junior school, and to our secondary schools. For the universities and our TVET institutions, we have equally been able to give substantial amounts of money since the beginning of the year, 2023-2024 financial year, and that is from July up to now. For the continuing students in the TVET institutions and the universities, the amount that we have so far allocated is 51.1 billion, and out of which we have been able to disperse, because each and every month there are allocations which are made from the National Treasury for this purpose, and once we get the disbursements from National Treasury, we also make sure that we disperse the same to our TVET institutions and also to our universities. Like on the 4th, which was, I think, on Monday, we were given 10.5 billion money, which we gave to Higher Education Loans Board, and the money has been sent to the various universities and our 238 TVET institutions for the purpose of tuition and also for upkeep of the students who are in universities and also in our TVET institutions. That money, we have also been able to send the money for upkeep, which, as you know, the range is between 37,000 and 60,000, depending on the level of need of the student. In September, the government was also able to release substantial amounts of money to our public universities, and specifically the amount that we were able to release to our public universities was 8.4 billion to all our public universities, and also we released some money to our private universities the same period, because each and every month there are also government sponsored students in our private universities, and we have made sure that we release funds in order to cater for the students who are in those particular universities. Also, to our TVET institutions, 2 weeks ago, we were able to disperse 1.3 billion to all our TVET institutions, the 238. For the first year students, because, you know, we have come up with a new funding model and I will be able to elaborate on this new funding model. We have also been able to inform them to apply for the various categories, because there is a combination of scholarships and loans, and so far there are quite a number of applications that we have been able to receive up to now. Like for universities, we have been able to receive funding applications of 121,367 students out of the 130,000 that have applied to join our public universities, because we also have 9,622 who have equally applied to join our private universities. For our TVET institutions, we also have about 72,000 who have also applied for funding this particular financial year, and also the portal for higher education university funding is still open. Equally, for our TVET institutions, we have about 70% who have applied for scholarship and loans, but we have also another about 30% who have not so far applied, and we are making an appeal that in 1 or 2 weeks the portal is still open, so that if you are not applied, you can apply so that you are able to access the loan. So we want to assure the country that funding is available, and the government has been able to provide funds to our TVET institutions. Government has been able to provide funds to all our universities, as I've clearly been able to indicate, and we are getting this funding on a regular basis. Each and every month we are able to receive funds from the National Treasury, which then we are able to disperse to the various TVET institutions and to all our public universities, and equally to our private universities, because we also have government-sponsored students in our private universities. I would now like to come to the new funding model, which is affecting the first years, that is those who did their KCSE exam in the year 2022. The new funding model, to come to the background, Kenyans, you know that we had a funding system which was not sustainable, which was not workable, that was popularly known as differentiated unit cost, DUC. DUC was based on a criteria that government was supposed to fund each and every student who joined our public universities and our private universities. We had also students who were sent to private universities through COOPs, so they were financed by government. The government was supposed to finance 80% of the total program cost, such that if it is a program like dentistry, which is the most expensive, the government, out of 720,000, the government was supposed to be paying 80% of that total cost, which was 720,000. The other courses like Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Education, which the total program cost is about 200,000. The government was supposed to be paying 80% of that particular cost, and it was for each and every student who joined the university, not considering factors like the economic and financial background of that particular individual. This particular system was found unsustainable because over the years, government has not been able to fund our universities at the criteria and the formula that were there before agreed upon of 80%. The mark that we have been able to give in each and every year is approximately 48%. Like in the year 2021-2022 financial year, government gave 48%, and hence 32% was not given. It is for this particular reason that our universities were faced with a number of financial challenges, actually resorting into pending bills which accumulated the level of 62 billion as we speak. And it is in this context that as a government we said we must change that particular model and come up with a new model. The new model that we have come up with, unlike the one before, is based on one major criteria. And the criteria that it is based on is that we will be able to assess the level of need and the background, the economic and the financial background of each and every student. And I'm going to take it through, plus my officers, how we are going to do this in order to make sure that whatever information we are able to get is actually the correct information. And among the salient features in this particular system is that, one, we will be able to work out the program cost for each and every course, and that one we have gotten the information from each university, and we have gotten the program cost for each and every program, each and every course. And universities are under instructions that no university will be able to increase the program cost of any course midway. If they say 200,000 per program per year, that is the way it is going to be. And again, the other salient feature of this particular program is that it will be student-centered, such that each and every student will be able to apply for funding, and as they apply, either for scholarship or loans, we will be able to analyze the application and effectively give the money depending on the kind of application that we should have received. And finally, we are categorizing the students in accordance to the applications to 4 groups. There are those who we categorize as vulnerable. Vulnerable are those who come from families that the monthly income is almost zero, because there are families where you find probably some of them are from single mothers, some of them are total orphans, some of them might be having both parents, but they don't have any income, and in each and every month you find it is zero income, so they are categorized as vulnerable. Vulnerable for university, we will be giving scholarship of 82%, meaning government is actually giving free money to the tune of 82%, meaning if the program cost is 200,000, the government gives you a scholarship of 82% of the 200,000. Again, government will be able to give 18% loan through the higher loans education board. And therefore, this particular level of students will be able to get 100% support from government, and their households, meaning their respective families, will pay nothing. They will not be paying anything. And these particular students who are also in that particular category, for universities, they will be able to get upkeep amount of 60,000 Kenya money. The other category is those who are categorized as extremely needy. Extremely needy are those who the families get an income of about 23,000 Kenya shillings per month. Those ones are categorized as extremely needy, and these ones we will also be able to give a scholarship of 70%, a government scholarship of 70%, and we will give a loan of 30%. And this category of students will also, their household, their families will pay nothing, meaning the government will be able to pay 100% of their fee requirement, and they will also be able to get an upkeep of 55,000 Kenya shillings. The other category is the needy. The needy are those who come from families that are able to get an income of between 23,000 and 50,000 in any given month. Those ones, we said, they will also be able to qualify for a scholarship of 53%, 54%, and 53% scholarship and a loan of 40%, meaning that brings you to 93, and the households, meaning the families, will pay 7%. That gives you a figure. If it is a school fee, a program cost of 200,000, the families will be expected to pay an amount of about 14,000 per year. And that 14,000 is paid in 2 semesters, meaning the first semester the family will be expected to pay a total of 7,000, and also in the second semester the family will be expected to pay 7,000. This particular group of students will be able to get an upkeep of 50,000 Kenya money in any given year from Higher Education Board. The last category is the less needy. The less needy are like the good ladies and gentlemen seated here, because they get an income of 70,000 plus, up to 200,000, including myself. If I have anybody in university, I'm categorized as the less needy. The less needy will get a scholarship of 38%, and a loan from Higher Education Board of 55%, and the household will be expected to pay 7%. 7%, of course, as I would say, depends on the cost of the particular program that the student is undertaking in the university. This particular funding model is actually scientific, because for the last 25 years, the criteria that we will be able to follow in order to determine which particular category you belong to is done in a scientific manner. Scientific because we have done it for the last 25 years through Higher Education Board. There is an instrument we use known as the means testing instrument.